Also coming up this afternoon, will power shift from the MPP to the NDC in Parliament. Former Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu says he will push to have all sitting MPs contesting the 2024 election as independent candidates to be removed from the House. This will make the opposition NDC the majority side.
MP defects to become an independent. He ceases to be a member of Parliament. Therefore, we will invoke the Speaker's proper and true interpretation of Article 97.
But the question is this practical? We'll find out from constitutional lawyers. Plus, the National Science and Maths quiz is back. We have live updates from the Central Region where Infansipim Girls Second Senior High has knocked out Zion College and West African Senior High School to secure a spot in the NSMKO 1/8 stage. As always, the pulse is brought to you by Global Community Zigilu, affordable safe sanitation for all. We are live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV is 125. We are also streaming live on our social media handles, Facebook, YouTube, X, myjoyonline.com for these and more. My name is Elton Brobe. Now, we will start off from a bloody weekend, if you want to describe it as well. Now, it's been a few days of bloodshed on Ghana's roads. Road crashes in parts of the country have claimed the lives of more than a dozen people in a matter of days. And this is what we put together to illustrate what we are talking about this afternoon.
Say the bus with registration number ER 2445-11
graphics to illustrate what we are talking about this afternoon as I walk you through what has happened from Saturday up until this morning, with the latest one being the accident on the Kumasi-Obuasi Road. So at least 23 dead in the past week. This is what we've managed to put together. Road crash deaths from January to August 2024, 1,614 in all. Those are deaths recorded from road crashes in the country. And so this is what you have from 2018 to 2024. The graph will show a swinging kind of a situation from 20% all the way to 14 in 2023. And then currently, as we speak, between January and August 2024, 18.7%. That's death per road crash accident. So the question is, why are these so many crashes in a matter of days? Shortly, we'll be joined by the officials of the National Health Safety Authority, the fire service that has been involved in the rescue, and other campaigners pushing for safer roads in Ghana. Let's start from Obuasi in the Ashanti region, where 12 people have been confirmed dead after their vehicle veered off the road. Nana Ojima was there for Joy News, and this is his report.
Eyewitnesses say the bus with registration number ER 2445-11 was overloaded after picking some stranded passengers whose bus had broken down on the road. It is believed the confrontation between some aggrieved passengers concerning the overloaded bus caused the driver to lose concentration, resulting in the accident.
The bus bound for Inche developed faults, so the driver decided to pick some of the passengers from the bus that developed the faults. The vehicle got overloaded and sparked arguments between the driver and some passengers. It was within that period that the accident happened.
It took the intervention of police and residents of the community to rescue injured victims. The injured are receiving treatment as police deposit remains of the deceased at the morgue. Some residents and road users are worried about the frequent occurrence of accidents at the spot.
We are pleading with the drivers to be cautious because the curve is very sharp. I am a tipper truck driver. In every 2 weeks, we record accidents here. The curve is very sharp and there are no road signs warning drivers of it.
Isaac Nomenyo's report read to you.
All right, so that's a report that came to us from the Ashanti region, to be precise, of Boase this morning, and that is adding to the death toll that we witnessed over the weekend, and we've started the week on a very bad note regarding accidents. Now, ADO1 Alex Kinate, a spokesperson for the Ghana Fire Service, will also be joined by Henry Asumeni, Deputy Director, Project Investment Business Development Unit, National Road Safety Authority, and Reverend Cyril Crab, President of Accident Victim Support Ghana. I would also like to hear from you. Connect on our social media handles, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X Spaces, and of course on myjoyonline.com, as we explore this issue with a view to find a solution to this menace on our roads. Now, let me start with Mr. Nate. You're welcome. Thank you. It's a very busy weekend for you.
You see, we, as a service, we always get very busy. Unfortunately, this one has drawn a lot of public, viewership, sort of. That's why, but trust me, we get so busy a lot. There's accidents here and there, fires here and there. So at least it's giving people a peek into to appreciate the kind of workload that the Ghana National Fire Service, is burdened with.
So let's start with the East Legon accident, the Saturday accident. How did you get the information to move there?
Okay, so we received a call that there's a fire at East Legon. The unfortunate thing that we've always hammered on is the fact that the whole big area of East Legon, through to Trazaku, through to Adjungano, 69, School Junction, Santo, East Legon Hills, we don't have a single fire station.
Not a single fire station. Like I even extend to my area of North Legon, I've not come across any fire station.
Even in North Legon, there's no fire station. North Legon, all through to Domi, Kwabinya, Taifa,
Agboba, and the rest.
We don't have a single fire station there.
Why is it so?
You see, fire service does not set up its own station. It's up to the assemblies to set up the stations, and then we send our manpower over there. So every time you hear people rather crying that thieves are worrying them, so they need police stations. But you never, I'm sure in your city, you never heard anyone crying that fires are worrying them, so they need fire stations. So until people try to draw a fine balance, look at a big area like East Legon, they've built a very beautiful police station. It's it's in line. But then so
it is actually up to the assembly to create a spot for the fire service to put the station there.
Yes. They have to set up the fire station.
Okay.
Build the station, equip it, and then we bring in personnel to fill, to occupy the place and serve the people. So until the people themselves see the need for a fire station and put pressure on the assemblies that we need a fire station, the assemblies will probably think you don't need a fire station and will just leave you. But then I don't know the UBF, because I think in the course of the week, Jackie Appiah's manager's house got bent at Trazaku. Their plans are to move all the way from Adenta to Transaco.
So the nearest to East Legon, North Legon, West Legon, and the lights is Adenta.
Either Adenta, University of Ghana, or Medina. So that's how bad the situation is.
So you got information about the fire outbreak, not an accident.
So we got about the accident. So the unfortunate thing is that because we didn't have a station, it took us about 15 minutes
to get there.
And we're even fortunate that it was on a Saturday. So the movement was a little bit okay. Other than that, we could have probably spent about 30 minutes getting there. And people have blatant disregard for the siren also, unfortunately. So when we arrived at the scene, we realized that the accident involved two vehicles, an Acura vehicle and then a Range Rover. No, sorry, a Jaguar vehicle. So at the time we got there, the survivors had already been taken out and rushed to the nearest hospital. So we had to do cooling to make sure that there's no further damage. And so we quickly had to work to retrieve the two people that were badly bent. We realized that they were bent beyond recognition. You could see their skin melting onto their seats. It was a very horrific scene. Unfortunately, my heart goes out to the family.
How caused the fire?
Okay, so we are still investigating. But per our initial assessment, anything could have caused the fire. Even the collision could have even sparked a fire. But what we are looking at initially is that it hits a wooden electric pole. So it's possible that after it hit the wooden electric pole, the wire or the wire fell on the vehicle. And we know that electricity and metal is not the best of friends. So after it touched the vehicle, it could have started the fire. Due to the collision too, there will be a lot of fuel. There will be a lot of fuel and a lot of oil all around the place, making it easy for a fire to start. So per our initial assessment, we have a feeling that might have been what caused the fire. So
in this case, the CCTV footage that is available for everybody to see, the CCTV footage depicts a vehicle at a very top speed, a white vehicle, run onto another vehicle, and then we saw fire. So the white vehicle is a Jaguar. And run into the Acura vehicle. So the occupants of the Acura vehicle, they are the ones that two of them unfortunately died in the process.
So there were 4 people in the Acura and there were 3 people in the Jaguar. So the Jaguar, from reports I've received, there were 2 minors, I would say 2 16-year-old boys and 1 11-year-old girl in the Jaguar, and then the Acura had the 4 occupants in the vehicle. The good news is that from reports I've received, the driver and then the 11-year-old girl who was rescued from the scene have been treated and discharged from the hospital.
They were in the front of the vehicle?
Yes, they were.
And then the 2 ladies who were at the back are the ones who couldn't survive?
Because due to
is it because the impact was such that it made it difficult for them to open the doors?
Exactly. And you realize that the vehicle, with top speed like that, it ended up mangling the back. So it further compromised the space that they had. So they were really tight in there. They had seat belts on. And after the collision, the other half of the vehicle was stuck to the security room or the security building where the impact happened. So obviously you can't open the door. So even with that, since we had to even do the rescue and bring them out, we had to get the towing car to pull the car forward.
At that time, they were already
all
dead.
Totally bent. If we had a fire station there, maybe we could have saved them from being bent. Again, maybe we could have also made sure that their body wouldn't have been mutilated as we had seen like that, because we would have responded quickly to help solve the situation. So this goes a long way to stress on the need for fire stations, so that at least, because wherever human lives are involved, the fire service.
But from your preliminary investigation, we are told that when this Jaguar vehicle ran onto the Acura vehicle, it also resulted in bringing down an electric pole. So some people are claiming that the electric pole probably was the trigger for the fire. I don't know if that is what your investigation is pointing to.
Okay, so that's the initial assessment, as I said, that when it hit the electric pole, the cable, obviously had live electricity passing through it. So the cable might have come into contact with the metal of this vehicle. So the electricity and metal are not a bad combination. So it can start a fire, and once it starts the fire, there's abundance of fuel because due to the collision, there was so much fuel on the ground, so much oil coming from both cars. So you realize that it's just...
So the 15 minutes that your men were able to get there, the locals, they couldn't do anything to save them?
So people had resorted. I saw a water tanker using, Ghanaians, that's one thing I take my hat off for Ghanaians. We love ourselves. So I saw a water tanker fighting the fire, and that also helped. And then someone actually went in and brought the girl out, So yes, kudos to the people there. Obviously, we can't do it all as a service, considering the logistical challenge and all. So sometimes we fall on people. So when people do some, we come and they make sure that there's no further harm. So when we came, we did what we call cooling. We cooled there was a generator just nearby, which could have caused more explosion. So we cooled the whole area to make sure that there's no reignition of the fire to further harm anyone over there.
I will come to Reverend Cyril, but before, I'll also take you to Obuasi, where this morning we witnessed another gory accident claiming 12 lives on the Obuasi Road. And even right after you had managed to put up the East Legon one, later I saw you on the Facebook page, you also brought another one on the Spinters Road.
Exactly.
But people have raised concerns about how you went about it in terms of the broadcast, and then the sensibilities of people. People think that it was not the proper way to put those charged bodies out there. I don't know what your response is and why you chose to broadcast your activity live on social media.
Okay,
but
so
people's lives were at stake.
All right,
the families are even yet to be told of their loved ones perishing in that event.
Okay, so one, I would say we apologize for for the gory picture. That wasn't our intention. We respect the dead and respect the families of the dead. So over the years, people have had negative perceptions about the fire service. So one strategy as a service that we had adopted is to try and then involve people. It's also a way of public service announcement and also to dispel speculations and rumors that people might have about the service. Maybe there might be a fire somewhere and people might just draw their own conclusion. There might even, as a result of the fire or the accident, there might even be a blockade somewhere. So broadcasting it to draw people's attention to the fact that, maybe this is the reason, or they are aware, they are forewarned that there's a situation somewhere. So as a service, we are trying to close the gap between ourselves and the public for them to get involved in what we do, see what we do. And then so our major focus was to show, and you realize that people didn't even know that when it comes to accidents, the fire service is the first point of call to do rescue. Because
I'm coming to that. I mean, whilst watching the video, at no point did I see the police.
Okay.
During, your attempt to rescue those who were trapped in the vehicle.
The police were there to maintain law and order, but it's our job to retrieve the body or rescue the people and then hand them over to the police. So again, we are doing that to change because obviously if there's an accident and people are trapped in there and you call the police, they will come and start directing the traffic, maintaining law and order, but they will call on us to come and rescue the people and realize that the person's life might probably be fading away. So the quicker you call us, the much faster we're able to get there. So it is our hope that once we broadcast our activities like this, it's a way of informing people that whenever there are situations like this, we are the people to call.
But going for it, because people have raised issue about the sensibility of displaying bodies in that stage. Would you amend the way you go about your thing?
Definitely. It's one thing that we had a meeting in the office today. It's one thing that we discussed. So if probably we're very close to capturing the image, we'll probably go very, very far. We'll go far away so that it's not too close, or we'll probably find a way to... At the end of the day, sometimes it's unavoidable, and unfortunately, because with this, we realize that we're cutting the vehicle, to be able to retrieve it. And the people were also in the shots. It's difficult to
do that.
But
I'll come to ask you about, now that you are investigating, whether you've spoken to the occupants of the Jacquard vehicle, I'll come to ask you about that. And then Reverend as well, you spoke about the role of fire service as first responders to accident scene. Now, this morning out of was I didn't see your men there. Perhaps you have an explanation for that. But let me take our viewers to the home of the deceased, the two ladies that died at the weekend accident at East Legon. Kenneth Jesse is my colleague, and he is there. So Kenneth is at the scene of the accident. So Kenneth, what have you gathered and what can you report?
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, moments ago when we got here, we saw some staff from the ECG here, and then they replaced this pole. They say when the incident happened, this pole got destroyed and led to power disconnection in parts of this area. So they finished replacing this pole a few minutes ago, and as our viewers can see, this is the exact structure which the car hit and caught fire. And then to my right is where the car was, parked or was standing when the Jaguar SUV hit it from behind. We've tried to speak to the people who live in this house, but apparently they do not want to speak to us. But of course, we have some eyewitnesses that we'll be going to speak to in a moment. But if you can see the debris of what happened during the weekend, scattered across. And as I mentioned earlier, some staff from the ECG came to replace some of the poles that were affected by this accident. So let's cross over to eyewitnesses who were here when it all unfolded. And this is a very busy street today. As we speak right now, it's a very busy street. Cars are coming from the left and right. So let's try and cross and speak to the people who saw it all unfold when the event happened during the weekend. Of course, we've tried as we can to speak to a lot of eyewitnesses who are, around, but most of them have refused to speak to us. But the few that have agreed to us are here, and then we want to speak to them briefly. One of them is the gentleman who is here. We're waiting for you, so please, if you can humbly descend and speak to us. Yes, but since the incident happened, though, aside the debris that you can see here, life has returned to normal. Everybody is going about their busy schedule because this is a very busy residential area. So things are happening as they should. You're live on Joy News. You were here when it all unfolded. Tell us, what did you see?
Okay, I'm Clement. That was Saturday, right? Yeah, actually, I was doing my normal cleaning. I was doing cleaning the glasses. So all of a sudden, I was at the top, and the white car, which is the Jaguar, they went for a part. And as boys, they were, I don't know whether they were boosted. So the Jaguar car, which caused the accident, was on high speed. And I learned they were arguing the car. The other guy was telling the guy to, slow down small. As he realized, he was almost inside the T-junction. And you can even see the brake tie there. So he tried to, step down the brake, but he failed. And he hit the black car. I don't know whether it's a Toyota car or not. So he hit the Toyota car, and the light pole which is there got broken, and the lights start, it sparked. And where the engine was to, the fuel combustion and this thing started, to catch fire. So we tried to rescue them. I used the fire extinguisher and stuff, but we couldn't make it. So we rescued a small girl, and the driver, the black driver and the white, two. 3 boys got out from the car, and the black one, which is the driver. And we rescued one girl. So it was remaining 2 people. And that one, we couldn't make anything. Yeah.
So aside from the people that lost their lives sadly in the first car, how many others were in that car that were able to be rescued?
Yeah, that's the young girl, which is it was only one that we were able to rescue. The driver, got out from the car by himself. So yeah.
Were they hurt? Did you see that they were hurt?
Yeah.
What's the degree of injury? Was it a serious one?
Yeah, it was severe injury. Yeah.
So when it happened like that, was an ambulance called on scene after, or how did they move out from here? Those who were injured?
Okay. Actually, the guy which was in the white car, I mean, he came with his boys. So the guys were at the back of them. So as the accident happened, I mean, the guy tried to help them. They rescued them, and we don't know where they went. So they took them to hospital, but we don't know the hospital that they went. So
we've spoken about the car that got bent, the people that were in and how injured they were. But what about the car that hit the car that got bent? The people that were in, were they injured as well?
Yeah, they were all injured. Severe, yeah. I mean, they were only 2, yeah.
Okay, all right. I want to speak to another one who was also live on scene, but he said he witnessed the aftermath after he heard noise from the crash. Tell us more. What was going through your mind, first of all, when you heard that noise?
It's horrible. I mean, we all thought maybe it's a glass that has broken. We realized that later we came out, we thought that it was an accident. And I mean, terrible. I mean, the thing happened. All of a sudden, they catch fire. So we were trying to help, but it takes only a brave person to go in to help. Yes, so that's what I can say.
There are rumors that the one that hit the car was drunk. Do you have any indication of whether it was true?
No, I can't say that because the thing happened before we came out. So I can't say that. I don't have that fact. What we know is overspeeding. That one we all bear witness. The footage and other things bear witness. Yeah.
I mean, as we can see from this structure, obviously when the car caught fire, it also caught that building. How was that building extinguished, the fire there?
You see, lucky enough, there was a water supply, those with the poly tanks. They helped before the fire service people came in. If not that, the whole thing would burn to actually before the fire service will come in. You understand? So they helped put their water to quench the fire until the fire service people came in.
We've tried to speak to people in that house. They say they are not speaking to us for obvious reasons. But what happened like that? Was there anybody in that building?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Did anyone come out?
No, the place was so crowded, so you can't identify whether the person from that house or from people. All the car stops trying to help. You understand? So it's a problem. You can't say this one from this house or from the other place.
I don't know how long you've been working here, but has an incident like this happened here before?
No, we are just workers. We came in Saturday to work, and this happened. So we're hearing it do have because it's T junction. Normally, every T junction has all this kind of incidents. You understand? Yeah. So. What I can say is we have to be very careful when we are driving towards T junction and stuff like that. So.
Okay, thank you very much. So those are 2 eyewitnesses who are narrating to us what happened. They were live on scene to witness it, giving us a blow-by-blow account of what happened. The debris remains there. You can see that the place, has been perforated into. But people in that building are refusing to speak to us because according to them they are traumatized and do not want to be talking again. But that's the narration from the people who were here. They've told us that there were 2 people in that Jaguar SUV who hit the other car. Luckily, two persons in that car, including the driver and a little girl, survived, but 2 others sadly lost their lives over the weekend. But if you come here, aside this one, it's as if nothing happened because everybody is going about their normal business. The place that we spoke to is it's a big shop that every activity that is supposed to go on there is currently happening. We haven't seen any police inscription here because usually when you see things like that, you can see some police lines saying police line do not cross and all that. Now that we brought in the police, let's get back to him and inquire from him if the incident happened. They saw the presence of any police officer here. I mean, after the incident happened, you were here for how long?
Oh, we are working here, so we are here since morning to the evening until everything settled. Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned that the fire service arrived here, but did you see the presence of the police here?
Yeah, they also came. Okay. Yeah, they also came. They also contributed to the incidents. Yeah.
Okay. And did they say anything public? Did they make anything public?
Yeah, they tried to talk to a few people around what happened, as I'm saying, you also contributed to what you saw.
Okay, so there was the fire service, there was the police. Was there an ambulance?
No.
So how were the people taken?
Yeah, you see, the Jaguar, I think they were 2. So the other guys came and took the other guys to the hospital. But this one, the way the thing happened, only the driver and the small guy escaped from the distance. Yeah, but the rest, as you say, they got abandoned. No, it's a story.
Okay, thank you very much. So according to him, there was the presence of the police as well when the incident happened. Not only the fire service that were here on scene to douse the fire that emanated from that building and the car that burnt, and also the 2 people that died by burning, burning to ashes. But we understand that there are 2 survivors from that car, and then the one that hit that car, all 2 have survived, although they have sustained varied degrees of injuries. So that's the accident scene, as I've mentioned earlier. If you come here, as the eyewitnesses who witnessed it firsthand have told us, they were here when it all started unfolding, and so far the place has been cleared. Power has been restored to the place that they have light, because when we came, the men and women from the ECG were working tirelessly to restore power here. We saw them just put this pole there not long ago, and power has finally been restored. So if you come to this area, everything has sort of returned to normal after that sad incident that happened over the weekend.
So that's my colleague Kenneth Jesse reporting from the accident scene, and he also followed up and speak to the family of the deceased. I will have that for you here on the Pulse on Join It. Very unfortunate development there. And as we speak, the police has yet to issue even a statement on the development as East Legon. It's unclear when they will do so and what action they've taken, but we'll wait to hear from the Ghana Police Service on this matter. It's almost 48 hours after the accident that claimed 2 lives. We've not heard from the Ghana Police Service, and we don't know why. So we'll wait to hear from them as to what they've done about it, whether they've made any arrests, and how they are progressing in their investigations. I will soon bring in Heron Asumani from the Road Safety Authority. But Kenate, I just want us to wrap up on this. So I asked about the investigation you are conducting. What have you uncovered so far? Have you spoken to the family of the minor that with the information we're getting that he is a minor and was the one driving the Jaguar vehicle? Have you got information from them?
Okay, so we know they are the University of Ghana Medical Center. Today, our office, because our team at Medina were the ones that effected the rescue or the retrieval of the body, they had to go to the hospital to do follow-up. So upon getting there, they were denied access.
Why?
By the lawyers of the minors. And they said they are going into surgery and that they would reach out to us soon. So unfortunately, we are not getting that kind of cooperation we're hoping for, but no matter what, we'll do our investigation as a service.
And the lawyers would also not speak to you?
The lawyers could also not speak to us, and that they said they would get back to us.
Right. So, and I'm guessing that the police was doing their own investigation.
Exactly. So I'm sure at a point we'd all collaborate our investigation together, and then obviously if there's a case for criminal negligence or if there's even a case for manslaughter, I'm sure the police would take action.
But in terms of what you have uncovered so far, is it a case of racing? Is it a case? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what is your initial investigation telling you?
Okay, so when we got there, as I said, the victims had already been rescued before we got there. But when we spoke to the people around, it looked like it was a race. They were racing with another vehicle. And so when the accident happened, this per eyewitness account to our response.
You are yet to collaborate.
I'm yet to collaborate, but this is the alleged narration that we got. That when the accident happened quickly, the car that was racing with them, quickly go to the scene, and then pull them out, put them in their car, and rush them to the hospital.
All right. Reverend Cyril, your initial comments, and then I can bring in Ghana Road Safety so that we can have a conversation. Your initial comments on what happened over the weekend.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon to yourself and your cherished viewers, and good afternoon to the entire country. I would, because of where I'm coming from, I would like us to have, if possible, 20 seconds, a minute silent for our dear ones from Saturday, especially from last Monday to this day. It's been back to back, and I think Saturday's accident, if you are a Ghanaian and you are a humanitarian, you would definitely want to cry for the country called Ghana. Our roads are bleeding already. So if you won't mind, I know how much it is for the airtime. The seconds go by itself, and so just 20 seconds or 10 seconds, if we can just have a minute silent for them, I'll be glad before I can say anything. May their innocent souls,
may their souls rest in peace.
Rest in perfect peace. As I sit here right now, I'm already shaking because it's sad. This act we are seeing right now, and from what we are hearing, I think that we have moved from accident being just bruises to accident being burns now. And when it moves from bruises to burns, it becomes very barbaric and it becomes very catastrophic. And I don't think the scenes that we are seeing right now is anything to write home about in this country. Whether we have seen decreases in all the CIDs, which of course, with the report I'm seeing that have come out from the National Road Safety Authority and MTTD, indicating that there is some kind of positive, aspect of it that says that 2.45% pedestrian knockdown and the rest. I think that if we are even experiencing decreases in these areas, it means that now, if one accident occurred, more people died. More people. And within the week, the number of people that have died, I sit here and I state categorically, Ghana is any serious country to be accepted by Ghanaians. It is a time for us to call for a state of emergency for what is happening on our roads. I didn't want to talk, but please pardon me. We sit here and we see how people are being killed on our roads, and yet we are handicapped of probably strategies and ways and means that we will use to curb the situation. It is not enough to talk about it alone. It's about time that all hands seriously comes on deck.
This is supposed to be your preliminary comments, so that we'll go into the issues. But let me bring in Henry Asumani. He's the Deputy Director, Project Investment Business Development Unit, National Road Safety Authority. Mr. Asumani, good afternoon. Welcome to the poll. So, bad news over the weekend, and we are starting the week with another bad one. 12 confirmed dead in that accident that took place this dawn at Obuasi. From where you sit at Ghana Road Safety Authority, are we losing it?
Good afternoon to your viewers, and I would want to greet all those who are watching us. And Reverend, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Okay. Thank you very much. As we've always been saying, road safety, when it comes to road safety, everybody has a role to play. And as a road user, you also have your role to play. We, as the authority, think that it is a situation that can still be managed. It is not out of hand, although we are recording such high numbers. But it is something that can be tackled as if we come together from the road user to the regulators to even the media. If we all come together to tackle this, I'm sure that we would be able to see some light of day and reduce these crashes. Unfortunately, it's so unfortunate because over time we have been steadily reducing road traffic crashes on our roads and casualties on our roads. But in these times near, we are recording a lot of these crashes. And when you go inside, when you investigate, most of them, you come out, you see that it is a negligence on the part of someone who was supposed to do something on the roads, be it the enforcer, be it the contractor, the person who fixes the roads, or the road user. But I wouldn't say that we are losing it. I would say that we need a concerted effort so that we have to come together and be able to tackle this head on, and then reduce these traffic crashes on our roads. And we should be able to tackle this, that we won't be seeing such things that we have recorded over this weekend.
But if you want to look at, measures in place to contain it, even when there's an accident, how fast are we to provide care and support to those who are involved in the accident? And then we are getting to understand that, for example, East Legon, West Legon, North Legon, there isn't a single fire station. And so responding to an emergency situation becomes, quite difficult. So we might have everything on paper. In terms of the practicality of it, we may be found wanting.
I think this is East Legon incident that happened yesterday, still under investigation though. But from the reports that we have received so far, I think I would want to commend some of the responders, the fire service, the police who were on the scene to try and rescue the situation. And the fireman there, I would want to thank him for all that he's doing for Ghana. So yes, it is true that maybe we may not have such a tender close to these areas, but as you saw yesterday, we try as much as possible that when it happens and it is reported, wherever it can be moved from, it comes in time to save the situation. So if you're using the East Legon case as a case study, you realize that the fire service came in, although we lost 2 lives sadly, but they came in to salvage the situation, and we were able to save some other people.
So going forward, from the position of the Road Safety Authority, we are in October, November. The electioneering campaign is hitting fever peak, so we're going to see a lot of movement on our roads. What would be your recommendation to deal with what is likely to be, an onslaught on our roads?
Okay. So at the authority, what we intend to do with our stakeholders is we are going to intensify sensitization, also intensify enforcement. And then if you also look at it, we want to bring post-crash care to the barest minimum, such that we are erecting these, we call first aid posts along highways, where when an accident happens, it takes time before the responders are able to get there. So these will be first responders who will be trained in first aid, and it is also being manned by the National Ambulance Service, so that when an incident happens, they are first on the scene before the other responders come in. So we know it is an election year, and we are getting close to election. We have engaged all political parties on how for them to conduct themselves, which we even launched the conduct for political parties on road safety. So it's something that we've seen, that every election year we have such volumes on our roads, moving from to and fro.
But maybe my final question, so that I can let you go. I don't know whether you've had the opportunity to look at the CCTV footage in circulation.
Yes, please.
And then you look at the speed. And clearly, in such an environment, and I'm sure that even without going to check, the rule will be that you can't go beyond 50 kilometers per hour. This speed is obviously beyond 50 kilometers per hour. You are waiting for the final investigation on it. What we are picking is that the person who was driving the Jaguar vehicle is 16 years old. What does all of this make for you?
Okay, so as you said, the investigation are still ongoing, but from the footage, you see directly that the speed on this road was not supposed to be the speed that this vehicle was going. Because if you look at this road, it is a residential area. Right. It's a road, a good road passing through a residential area where there are a lot of activities around. Even if you look at the road very well, you realize that even you shouldn't be going up to 50 kilometers per hour. It should be around 30 kilometers per hour because we have a lot of pedestrians around this area. You would have a lot of school-going age people walking around this area, so you cannot go even up to the 50 kilometers per hour you mentioned.
Right.
As to the age of the driver, as I said, the investigation is still ongoing. We are yet to get the age of the driver and even to know whether he's licensed or not. Of course, if he's 16 years, we know he can't be licensed. But other reports are also mentioning 21, 22. So we are waiting for the report to come out. Then we will know who the driver was. Was he a qualified driver? How long has he been driving? And what is the, even if he has a license, what is the class of the license? Where can he drive up to and those things? So we'll see all that when the report comes out. But in the meantime, I still urge all our listeners to be careful on the roads. Safety starts with you. You should take your safety as a precaution. So when you are using the road, try and obey all road traffic regulations such that we won't be recording such things as these.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Asmani, thank you very much. Let me come back to the two. We've got like 15 minutes to wrap up on this. So, Cyril,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you can tell us. I mean, you are witness to how devastating accident has caused families, cut short the lives of promising individuals. What can you tell us?
Yes, because of the time, I will quickly recommend that the families is rallied around with the parents of those who died are being carefully, handled. Psychologists should be sent there. I'm working on one so that we visit them, have a chat with them. But I know the two families are coming from a very well, matured family. I know that they are going to do their best to talk to those who have been bereaved and those who probably might have been injured also. We pray that they are being given the first aid that they need. Rapid attention should be given to them. But I also want to recommend, as Mr. Asmani said, that I think the advocacy had not gone the way we are expecting. Thank God for Drive Safe campaign, which is doing its best. But I wish that every other media house will get involved with drumming the Drive Safe campaign or the Stay Alive campaign. Secondly, I would want every also minister in the sense that as I am a pastor, every pastor should to be able to spread the message of accident prevention on their pulpit. Reason is that it becomes very difficult. I closed down my church to be doing this, and you enter into a church to give you only 10 minutes to preach about road safety. It becomes a problem. But now it is going to their doorsteps. I don't wish that for any other person.
Watching the footage, what does that tell you?
Yes, I have with the speeding.
Yes,
great. I witnessed a similar thing a month ago at Fan Milk. And so I would say that I wouldn't want to go into the story, but Fan Milk, this guy is just like this guy, but he's aged. But he didn't have the required experience. So he crossed somebody, then sped off, went into under a car, and the car twisted in the air, landed on the floor, and he became chilled instantly before me at the traffic light. And so I would advise and counsel any other person, if you give your will to anybody, please ensure that that person has the required experience. Driving boils down to experience. Even if you don't have the license and all that, and you have the experience, and you know your way about, you would know how to drive and drive carefully. Secondly, everybody should take from this. When they go to the intersection, they didn't use probably the techniques, looking into your rear mirror and the side mirror. I believe that now with what we are seeing, when you are getting into such an intersection, please be mindful and watch your rear mirrors, so that when anything happens behind you, like this one, you could at least, rescue your own self. Like Henry said, safety begins with you. Last but not the least, I would beg that individuals who get involved in crashes, it's not easy to be a survivor of road accident. Let's support road crash victims.
Let me come to Kenati. So investigation is still ongoing.
Exactly.
Despite the obstacle you faced today with the lawyers, you will still pursue to get to the side of the others.
Yes, and then also most of the time, per our purview, we do the rescue and then hand over to the police. But because this one has taken a national turn, we also have to be able to get enough information so that we have a better understanding going forward, even it to be a lesson even for us, so that when it comes to stakeholder engagement, we're able to make meaningful contribution based on this. And when you mentioned fan work, I thought, just last week, Wednesday, there was another gory accident on that stretch at Anya last stop, where a truck carrying drinks from Ajahn Kotoku to Takwa, veered off the road, blocked the whole road. And then one mate, the mate, that was his first day on the job, he died instantly. Yeah. And then just that night, from there while I was going home, there was another accident also at Ofanko on the main. That same simultaneously had also blocked the road. And I learned that one, they didn't call us, but 3 people were injured and had been rushed. So it's a worrying trend.
But let's quickly talk about the Obuasi accident this morning. So how many people have been confirmed dead so far?
Per the information, we have 11 confirmed dead. 12, sorry. 11 died on the spot, and then the driver adding up to make 11. He died in the course of the accident.
And what happened in that accident?
So we gathered that it was a vehicle traveling, and then at a point the driver made some careless moves, which resulted in him losing control of the steering and falling in the ditch around the western region, thereby resulting in death. It's regrettable. My phone, I always say my phone is a horror movie, because you see a lot of accidents.
Our phone.
Our phones, because it's crazy. You see people's legs cut. The VIP one involving the tomatoes, people's legs, and our men officers are the ones. You see, so this.
But in the Obuasi case, for example, the videos and the picture we've seen only depict the police. I don't see fire service personnel involved in the rescue mission.
Okay, so per the information I have, our plans at Obuasi is out of commission.
Obuasi?
Yes, it's out of commission. So our officers, they found ways to get there. Different plans went, but it went very, very late. As in the time, and then this, you see, our officers are ready to work despite the challenges. I think there was the accident that involved the VIP where the driver who died went viral. The accident, for instance, when it happened on the Suhum road, our plans at Suhum was out of commission.
So in the absence of that truck, what do you call the fire engine?
Yes.
In the absence of that, you can't move?
So in the issue with the Suhum one, for instance, they found ways of finding another vehicle to put their own, a different vehicle on their own, to put the extrication tools in there and still went there, despite the fact that they didn't have an appliance. So you see, it's we being resourced is a national call. It's not for the fire service. After all, I won't go and park the fire tender in my house.
In certain places, in certain jurisdictions, when an emergency situation and the fire service is called, ambulance follows with the fire service, sometimes the police. In our case, sometimes getting any of them to come is even difficult.
Oh, I can't speak for the ambulance, but I'll speak for us. That, as I mentioned when we started, that as of now, the plans at Amasaman is out of commission.
It means that most of your plans are out of commission.
Government has promised us some appliances, and we are hoping that it will come on time. But as of now...
So now, if there's an emergency situation all the way from Obuasi to, let's say, Amyankwanta in Kumasi, response time will not be prompt because you don't have any fire engine serving that enclave.
Yes, it might come from quite a distance. Because if you see even from Nkoko through to Kumasi, I think the only appliance is at Konongo, and that one
from Nkoko to Kumasi.
Yeah, I think
Nkoko
might have an appliance, but from Kongo all the way to Kumasi, it's just one appliance and it's not in the best of conditions.
And the ones in service, I can guess the pressure on them.
Yes, and you see these appliances are very old. You see, and one station can go to about 3 or 4 fires in a day. Let's take yesterday, for instance. There was a fire at Taifa. The appliance at Anya had to move all the way from Anya Market to go to Taifa to fight that fire. When they came back now, there was another fire at Israel Park, and they had to move there. It even turned into a fight. I was there personally, and we were attacked. We had to...
Because they didn't come on time.
Exactly. But they don't know the challenges, because the car is very old. Someone riding an Abuboya can even bypass our appliance because it is old. You know, so it is our hope that the commitment and the promise that the government has made would come into fulfillment soon, so that we'll be able to better serve the people of Ghana. Because at the end of the day, it's worrying that we have committed officers, and as I said, even with places where some of the appliances are out of commission, whenever there's an emergency, the officers find ways to still go there to serve the people.
All right, Sarah, you are the final say on this, but
yes,
let me just say that I earlier mentioned that we're still waiting to hear from the Ghana Police Service officially. I'm just on their X Space official page. The last time the police tweeted something was 2 hours ago, and was an update on the MPP NDC disturbances at Mamobi. The other one within the same 24 hours is 22 hours ago. The same thing, MPP NDC disturbances at Mamobi. Police restore calm and on manhunt to arrest perpetrators. These are the latest tweets from the Ghana Police Service in the last 24 hours. Nothing from the East Legon accidents or any other accident that we are talking about this afternoon.
And so Friday we are having the I Support Accident Victim fundraiser and our 8th anniversary, where we will address very serious issues. I wouldn't want to preempt what will happen there, but because if I start talking right now, you can see the anger is there and the pain is there. So I will entreat the stakeholders and every Ghanaian to be there at the Bukom Arena on the 18th, Friday, 18th, 10 a.m. I work with you. I must thank you and appreciate you the way you have promoted accident victim support. Please be there and then hear what we have to say, especially with regards to policies that all the political parties have come out, and none of them has made a statement towards supporting crash victims. None of them. There is no statement that says that we will help crash victims. Meanwhile, we have thousands of people being dead and crashed, injured. And they are going to use the roads as well.
And they are on their own.
Our accident victim support, we are going to speak. And I've asked all accident victim support on our page that on that day, they should be there. Because in a month, we are going to stage a demonstration.
All right.
We will stage it. Because what is happening is not good.
All right. Reverend Cyril Crab, thank you so much for coming to accident support. And of course, Ken Nate from the Ghana National Fire Service. And I must commend the Ghana National Fire Service. Your social media activity is up and running. You are more now open. I mean, people now understand what you do, and I guess it's kudos to the Ghana National Fire for opening themselves up to the public.
We are not a perfect institution. We are open to criticisms, but sometimes the insult is uncalled for. You know, I would prefer if someone doesn't understand anything, they would reach out. We are very much easily accessible.
As for the car, Abuboya overtaking the truck, they will need to do something about it. All right. Kenate is with the Ghana National Fire Service. So we'll end the conversation on road safety for today, but we're still waiting to hear from the Ghana Police Service. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll talk about the NDC with possibility taking over Parliament from tomorrow, and we'll tell you why.
I see, and me the 200 Ghana could just sister. Buy you in 5 cities and 40 Ghana. Hey, take one container your 40 to 50 pesos and not 20 Ghana. And a dancing or long can do 30 Ghana. Adai, on my bay money away.
Oh, so Cassa, Michel Dean. Sha, Doctor me 20 Ghana. Ah, me pay me 15 Ghana cedi a day. O ma be ne woman, ya call ya na ti yesabai.
Sha, enye duane bo nko an ekosoro. John Dramani Mahama time. Smith 1 bag. Near 24 Ghana cedis. Me nko Smith 1 bag. You say a 108 cedis. Iron Ross ye beton saying. It is to say who see dan ya. Say and I'll be say. John Dramani Mahama ba me gie ya. Ye be wo.
Ya nya bibia fa ho akom be kuyen yo. Akom ne de enkuyen. Ye be fa ye ho adwen pa. Na MPP aban. Wadi ehwamo ankasa.
Me de minim wo haw. Na me de mehwe masetirem na mato ababa.
Ene sa na tie de a. Eye akufu ade ne ni ba wo mia. Nyame ya dom ne se December 7. Dura. You be true master de YouTube.
You be true ankasa.
Sha wasit ne moto abapa. E de sakra ya papa beba wa brabo mu. To abama John Mahama ne NDC.
Why? For my premium fuel at an affordable price, Ron 95 from Petrosol is all I always use. And when I put it in my baby,
because you can't be mixing Petrosol fuel with any nyama oil. Quality goes with quality. Petrosol oil ensures long engine life, longer oil change interval, and cleaner environment. Kai amfani di kayan de Petrosol zukai. Zaka chiga badeli.
Why? Premium product. Clean fuel in full quantity. Long lasting, and above all, peace of mind. Use more Petrosol premium products via.
Over 5 million children have benefited from free SHS. Protect free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, #1 on the ballot.
The MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge Season 1 has been a journey of great impact. From the application process to the selection of participants of MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge Season 1. The millionaire investor Dr. Daniel Macaulay is staying the course of grooming the next generation of multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs of Ghana. Ghana's unemployed youth population is growing exponentially by the day. A private sector intervention is needed to lighten the burden of employment on the government. The MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge is one of such privately funded initiatives. Ghana, are you ready for the second edition of the MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge Season 2? In this edition, 15,750 applications were received. 80 applicants have been selected for the real showdown. So watch out as these 80 business ideas are put to the test in the battle for the ultimate prize. Who will succeed? Who will fall out? And who will win the $100,000 cash prize in the MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge Season 2? The MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge is brought to you by MacDown Foundation. The MacDown Entrepreneurship Challenge, coming soon.
Welcome to a quick tutorial on the Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank. Visit www.gksb.gov.gh to access the platform. In this tutorial, we will take you through accessing the contents on the platform via the dashboard. To do that, you must first log in. Find and click on any of the category cards you find on the dashboard based on your preference. Get access to all contents in the selected category. Select a subject, click on the preferred reading material and download them for reading instantly, or bookmark them to reference later. That's it for today. Keep learning and good luck.
Now let me tell you why you should choose Safari Valley
as your conference destination.
The new conference building combines modern amenities with the tranquility of nature, providing the perfect backdrop for your next seminar and corporate retreat.
The only conference destination with so many activities. You don't have to travel to visit your tennis club, the gym, or the stables. They have it all.
Enjoy this rooftop viewing deck, basking in the sunlight with the sight of wild animals roaming freely in their natural habitat.
At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
It's a unique experience that sparks creativity and rejuvenates the mind.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Fellow countrymen and women, the desperate NPP, realizing that they are losing the 2024 elections, has once again resorted to lies to smear the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NPP's claim that Mahama was against free SHS and will cancel it when elected is nothing but a barefaced lie calculated to deceive you. John Mahama started the implementation of the progressively free SHS program in 2015 with day students and had a clear plan to expand the program to cover borders, hence cannot be said to be against free SHS. What he has been against is the poor implementation of the program. Contrary to the lies of the NPP, the next NDC Mahama government will improve the implementation of the free SHS program to make it better. We will do this by scrapping the double track system, provide a dedicated source of funding for the program, include private SHS, improve the feeding of our children, and enhance the quality of learning outcomes. Listen to the truth from the horse's own mouth.
Free senior high school education has come to stay. If anybody tells you that I, John Dramani Mahama, son of E.A. Mahama, will abolish free SHS when I come, tell the person he's a bloody liar. What I'm against is the poor implementation of the free SHS, which is creating great inconvenience for the parents, for the students, and for the teachers. And one of the things we'll do when we come back into office, and I know inshallah we're coming back into office, is to complete the 200 community day schools that we began, so that we can bring a quick end to the double track system.
Beware of the NPP's lies. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Welcome back. This is a pause here on Joy News. Now, let's do some politics now. 3 sitting majority MPs and 1 NDC MP are at risk of losing their seats with barely 2 months until the expiration of the 8th Parliament. Now, former minority leader Haruna Idrisu has signaled that his side will trigger the appropriate constitutional standing order provision to declare seats of these 4 MPs vacant, with Parliament currently constituted 138 and 137 for NDs, for the MPP and the NDC MPs. This will mean the NDC will become the majority should they succeed in this effort. Listen to Haruna Idrisu make the point at a campaign rally.
On Tuesday, the Parliament of Ghana will reconvene. And when it reconvenes, I am very certain that Parliament and Ghana will go through a major constitutional test. And that constitutional test is that the NDC minority must become the majority from Wednesday next week. I assume, and this must happen if there is constitutional and legal propriety in Ghana. Because any nuanced interpretation of Article 97 provides that if a member of Parliament on a political party ticket like MPP defects and fails to be independent, that MP ceases to be member of Parliament. And if an independent member of Parliament, by virtue of the provision of Article 97, subclause G, an independent joins a political party, that independent loses constitutional recognition and does not belong to Parliament. And even if an NDC candidate, MP, defects to become an independent, he ceases to be a member of Parliament. Therefore, we will invoke the Speaker's proper and true interpretation of Article 97 by our standing order.
So let's get to understand this matter more forcefully. Now, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins me in studio with more. So, Kweku, share with us the procedure for such an exercise.
Well, so ordinarily, if the precedent that has been laid, the precedent laid in 2020 is anything to go by, the political parties would usually communicate to Parliament that this member of Parliament who came here on our ticket has since decided that he's going to go independent, for which reason we have expelled him from our political party, and so on the strength of Article 97 of the Constitution must lose his seats. It appears the NPP may not be willing to do so. It is obvious that 3 of their own colleagues are going independent, but it may be obvious that they are not going to do so because it will affect their numbers, and that is why the NDC is saying that they are going to do so. And given that this is a constitutional matter and also a standing orders matter, any member of Parliament for that matter can rise on the floor and raise a matter either by motion or whatever procedure that person may adopt, and communicate to the Speaker that these persons are flouting the specifics of this constitutional provision, for which reason he or she believes that these persons should not continue to hold on to their seat. So what we expect tomorrow, Haruna Idrisu or the minority leader or any other person so appointed to do so will do, is that a motion of a sort will be moved on the floor, specifically calling the name of these persons with evidence that they have successfully filed with the Electoral Commission to either contest as independent candidates or either the independent candidate who is now contesting as a member on the NPP side, for which reason they will invite the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Bagben, to make a ruling. If the Speaker of Parliament makes a favorable ruling, then that will mean the Speaker of Parliament will consequently declare these 4 seats as vacant because of the specifics. And the names of these persons, right. Peter Yaokwachiaka, he's currently the NDC MP for Memphis Central. He lost in his bid to return to Parliament in the NDC primaries. He lost to Madam Joanna Kujo. And in fact, that election was challenged in court. And given that the time for the race for the Electoral Commission to get the nomination was closed, the NDC decided to annul the election and rerun it again. They did it again, and he lost to Madam Joanna Kujo, for which reason we understand he's peeved and going for independent. Then there is a second Deputy Speaker, Andrew Amakwensiama, who in 2020 was a sitting MPP MP, lost his parliamentary primaries as well, and decided to go independent, for which reason he was expelled at the time. This time around, he's back in the fold of the New Patriotic Party, and he's being allowed to contest on the ticket of the NPP. So he's no longer going to be an independent MP, should he win the election, and will join the NPP fold. Then there is Cynthia Morrison, MP for Aguna West, who is also a former gender minister, currently sitting MP for the NPP, who also, just like all the other persons, lost her parliamentary primaries, peeved about a few issues, and for instance, I decided to go on for independent. There are issues with her candidature, right. Because as we speak,
there's part of it in court.
Yes, a court has ordered that she cannot hold herself out as a parliamentary candidate because the claim of the person who went to court was that she does not come from that constituency. Yes. And so that issue is still pending, and she's taking the matter on. And then there is the MP for Suhum, Kweku Asante, who also lost the parliamentary primaries and has decided to go independent. And so all these 4 persons, if these processes are triggered in the House, their seats may be declared vacant by the Speaker of Parliament, and they will lose it.
Final question before I bring in Justice Abdullahi, a constitutional lawyer. I remember that before the 2020 elections, when the current Deputy Speaker of Parliament signaled his intention to go independent, the MPP reported the matter to the Speaker then, Aaron Michael Quabe, yes. And then the seat was declared vacant. But it was declared vacant at the time that the party we were just heading towards the election. You said that there's been a precedent.
Yes, so that precedent has been there. Only that this time around, this is much more, it's almost like 2 months to the entire 8th Parliament being dissolved. And when Parliament resumes tomorrow, they are not going to sit for a long time. They're going to do about 3 to 4 weeks, and then MPs will be allowed to go and campaign for them to return. This is specifically what the then Speaker, Aaron Michael Quabe, said on the floor. He said, having forfeited the membership of the party on whose ticket he was elected to Parliament, the operative language of the Constitution is that he shall shall, which is mandatory, vacate his seat in Parliament. And then consequent on this, he declared a seat vacant. And so that precedent has been set in 2020. That is what the NDC is seeking to build on, so that for the first time in this country's history, we can have a majority caucus that does not belong to the same political party that is controlling the executive.
Let me bring in Justice Abdullahi, a constitutional lawyer and a lecturer as well. So, Justice Abdullahi, I mean, clearly there's precedent. You would say that Haruna himself, a constitutional lawyer, has a case.
Say that there are precedents, not precedents.
Right.
There are several. We've had several in the past, from Howard Yakubu Ogede.
Exactly.
And of others in the past.
I can also remember Dr. Oyo Seni. In his case, he did the cross.
Thank you.
He did the cross carpeting on the floor, and after that, the seat was declared vacant.
Absolutely. In fact, I think our former ambassador to Saudi Arabia, the one who just passed, also was, cross carpet.
Right.
Yes, I think he just passed a couple of weeks ago. And so, this is not a new territory. We've been here before severally. And so there's nothing new really that is extraordinary under this circumstance. The only thing that is so new are the numbers. This is the first time we have such huge numbers. 4 may sound so little, but in our parliament, that's so huge, considering the circumstances of this particular issue. And also, this is also the very first time that this issue has become of much interest to the rest of us. And people are now asking several legitimate questions. And I agree with a lot of the questions that are coming up. Now the questions are flying all over as to whether future intentions could be a basis for a person to be for a seat to be declared vacant.
Right.
And my answer to that question is very simple: that these are not future events. The events themselves may be future, but the things leading to those future events are the basis, are what are being questioned at this moment. Crossing carpet, in fact, contesting on the ticket of a political party does not start only when you win the seat. It starts from the moment you were nominated. And before you could be nominated, knowing the political terrain of this country and the party politics, you must be a member of the political party in question for a period of time.
Right.
Before you can be allowed to contest election. Now, if you are a member of the NDC and, for instance, you decide to contest on the ticket of the MPP, you must be a member of the ticket, a member of the NDC before you can be allowed to even go for the primaries. What it means is that these persons whose seats are being called into question join these other political parties, possibly way back. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been allowed to contest on the ticket of those political parties.
Right.
Now brings in the issue of those going independent. As for those going independent, it's easier to say that it could only start from the day they actually declared their seat or filed their nominations with the Electoral Commission. That is the day that you can easily say that indeed cross carpet to be independent members of parliament from their various political parties. Now, if that is the case, the issue of the future doesn't come in, because it's today that you have crossed carpet. Your crossing of carpet will not start only when you win the seat to come into parliament.
Yes.
I think that argument for me doesn't work at all. It doesn't work with me. And so I can understand that there may be multiplicities of interpretations to this, and for which reason calls for maybe the Supreme Court to step in and all of that could come in. But even then, I think that would be a premature ejaculation, because once the decision is finally made by the Speaker for someone else to contest that decision,
right,
it is very difficult for anyone to call into question the appropriateness or otherwise of the Speaker's declaration, whichever way it goes. And then it's only at that point that we can invite the various other precedents that have happened prior to Speaker Babin assuming office and making his declaration for further discussions and indeed interpretations by the Supreme Court.
Council, let me come in here. I mean, the question has been asked is the propriety of this move. For the NDC, it plays to the advantage. Perhaps the reason why the MPP is not taking steps to report their own members to the Speaker for the seats to be declared vacant is the numbers in Parliament. So clearly, if the MPP had more numbers, they would have taken this action as a sort of punishment for these MPs that have gone, rogue, if you like. However, they don't have the luxury of numbers to now play the hard line. So that's how come they will keep quiet. Now, what I'm picking is that if the minority is successful with their motion, they may go to court and change the Speaker's ruling. And maybe the matter will go to the Supreme Court. By that time, the life of this Parliament would have even come to an end.
That's correct. But that will still be a very good precedent if the NPP indeed goes to court, because whatever interpretation that would come out from the Supreme Court would not only be a learning curve for all of us for today, but it would also help us in our future decision making. And I think because it is a nation building, a constitutional build-up, I think it is better for us to have some of these declarations going forward so that it guides us into the future. And so this Parliament may not benefit from whatever opinion that is a possible Supreme Court decision may bring, but future decisions of Parliament would be very, it would be very helpful for such a future speaker and indeed the whole nation to learn from whatever interpretation that would emanate eventually from the Supreme Court. And I would urge anyone really to pursue that, whatever decision that comes up. Whatever decision, I would urge anyone, whether MPP or NDC. But I do understand the political aspects of this whole discussion. When the Deputy Speaker crossed carpet, it took a political party to write to the Speaker then, Speaker Quay, to invoke his authority to remove and expel that member of Parliament from office. But today, everybody is silent about it because, of course, the numbers do not help us in doing and taking such drastic decisions. But the point is, we are here, the crossroads. We need to take this decision. It may not be too good because really we have barely 3 months for the present government to be out of office, and so it may not have a significant blow to the NDC, to the MPP. But of course, it gives them some bragging rights, and they will probably may be able to take certain decisions, particularly when you have crucial decisions to be made going into a possible handing over or otherwise. But come what may, there will be a handing over, and we would have to have a decision made as to whether the handing over is going to the NDC or to a future MPP government. There will still have to be some decisions that will have to be taken. And last-minute decisions in this country are quite dangerous. And
absolutely.
So, beyond the bragging rights, it is important that we have a finality to these whole discussions, and tomorrow is pregnant. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hear what Babin brings up.
We'll wait for the wording of this motion. Thank you very much, Justice Abdullahi. He is a constitutional lawyer and a lecturer with the UPSA. Now, we're going to talk about the environment and Galamsey shortly, but before, there is a breaking story coming in. Early on, I spoke about we waiting for an official statement from the Ghana Police Service on the accident that took place at East Legon that claimed the lives of 2 individuals. The police administration just updated their social media handles with a statement. The statement reads, the Ghana Police Service has commenced investigations into an accident that occurred on Saturday, 12 October 2024 at East Legon in Accra, leading to the death of 2 persons. Preliminary police investigation indicates that the suspect driver, identified as Salifu Amwako, rammed the vehicle into another vehicle on Zani Ashi Street at East Legon. Both vehicles caught fire and burnt beyond recognition. The suspect driver and other surviving victims are currently receiving medical attention. Meanwhile, one of the surviving victims has since been treated and discharged, whilst the bodies of the deceased victims have been deposited at the morgue for preservation and autopsy. And again, the police says that they've started their own investigation, and what they've done so far indicates that the suspect driver, identified as Salifu Amwako, rammed his vehicle onto another vehicle at East Legon. Both vehicles caught fire and burnt beyond recognition. We'll follow up on this matter and bring you when we have updates. But the environmental NGO Arocha Ghana has petitioned the U.S. government to strip Ghana of the position of co-chair of the Forest and Climate Leaders Partnership. Arocha, in a letter cited by your news, argues that even though Ghana's tenure expires this month, they are convinced the Ghana government is no longer fit to co-chair the FCLP and should be removed from this position with immediate effect. And there's a statement to that effect. But joining us is coordinator for eco-conscious citizens, Awula Sewa, for more on this. So Awula, why this hard stance taken by Arocha? Do you agree that this is the way to go?
Good afternoon. I'm not sure it's a hard stance taken by Arocha. I believe the letter speaks for itself. Would you think that an alcoholic should be in charge of an alcohol producing company? Of course not. Just like you wouldn't think a mentally challenged person should be in charge of the asylum. This is a situation where Ghana is the co-chair of the Forest and Climate Change Partnership. And we are clearly not doing anything to preserve our forests. In fact, we passed LI 2462, which allowed mining in forest reserves, including globally significant biodiversity areas.
But now the process has started for that aspect to be revoked.
And how long is that process going to take? You see, there are lawyers who are telling us that it's not quite clear that the process will be completed before the end of this parliament. There are two ways you can go about it. If you're going to have the minister come to parliament and make a statement to parliament that they want to revoke it, then lawyers are arguing that it should be revoked immediately. But if you want to go through the process of laying it and then waiting for 21 days,
right?
Yes, then we will not be able to resolve this matter before this parliament is dissolved.
But even, even before that is done, the president has given clear directive to the environment minister not to implement that LI.
Yes, but you see, as we speak, licenses have already been granted. We have asked for all those licenses that were granted to be revoked. Forest reserves have been destroyed as a consequence of LI 2462, which was passed in 2022. That hasn't been done. So we're not quite sure that there's any degree of seriousness. And the idea is to put pressure on the government to be serious about protecting our forest reserves. You see, we're not being dramatic. We face an existential threat. And when you face an existential threat, you take immediate action to stop the threat. What are we waiting for? Rise in kidney disease, rise in cancers, rise in birth defects, stillbirths, maternal deaths. Our waters have been poisoned. Our foodstuffs have been poisoned because the soil is poisoned. Our forest reserves destroyed. What on earth are we waiting for? So I believe what Arocha wants to do is to pile up the pressure, hoping that when you pile up the pressure, the other demands that were made will be adhered to. The state of emergency to allow the appropriate authorities to go to our forest reserves and remove all miners and their equipment from forest reserves and water bodies. Also a pause on community mining, which is necessary, but which hasn't been agreed to as at now.
Okay.
And also we need the persons named in Professor Frimpong Boateng's report to be investigated. It's only when we show some seriousness that one can say that Ghana is fit to hold that position. Otherwise, one can argue that Ghana is not fit to hold the position. In fact, it brings the whole thing into disrepute, just as if you've put a mentally challenged person in charge of the asylum.
All right, let's wait and hear from the U.S. government on that. But I'd like to say thank you so much, Awula Sewa, for your contribution to this discussion. We'll take a short break. When we return, I'll tell you why you should look forward to the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament when we come back.
Fellow countrymen and women, the desperate NPP, realizing that they are losing the 2024 elections, has once again resorted to lies to smear the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The NPP's claim that Mahama was against free SHS and will cancel it when elected is nothing but a barefaced lie calculated to deceive you. John Mahama started the implementation of the progressively free SHS program in 2015 with day students and had a clear plan to expand the program to cover borders, hence cannot be said to be against free SHS. What he has been against is the poor implementation of the program. Contrary to the lies of the NPP, the next NDC Mahama government will improve the implementation of the free SHS program to make it better. We will do this by scrapping the double track system, provide a dedicated source of funding for the program, include private SHS, improve the feeding of our children, and enhance the quality of learning outcomes. Listen to the truth from the horse's own mouth.
Free senior high school education has come to stay. If anybody tells you that I, John Dramani Mahama, son of E.A. Mahama, will abolish free SHS when I come, tell the person he's a bloody liar. What I'm against is the poor implementation of the free SHS, which is creating great inconvenience for the parents, for the students, and for the teachers. And one of the things we'll do when we come back into office, and I know inshallah we're coming back into office, is to complete the 200 community day schools that we began, so that we can bring a quick end to the double track system.
Beware of the NPP's lies. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC.
Welcome to German Ozone Medical Center, the pioneer of ozone therapy clinics in Ghana and West Africa.
If you are dealing with conditions like diabetes, diabetic ulcers, stroke, arthritis, bodily or skeletal pain, viral infections, and more, we invite you to explore the advanced complementary therapy. We discover your true self through our facial microneedling sauna for detoxification, bringing forth the radiant glow you've always dreamed of.
For exceptional dental health solutions, we offer services such as digital Hollywood zirconia smile, clear aligner treatment, implants, and digital dentistry. At the German Ozone Medical Center, our dedicated and friendly team of professionals are committed in providing you with unique and top-notch dental experience. Call us on 055-024-2222 or 055-025-2222.
The boys get front row seats to an exciting Premier League game. The girls are next door, catching up on a scenic getaway to the Australian outback. Watching together is always better. That's why DSTV Stream has content for the whole family to enjoy. Families that watch together, bond together.
Introducing Schoolbox from Chopbox. Visit shopboxonline.com or contact our customer service via WhatsApp. Call for all your boarding school needs, from provisions, books, and birthday packages, all delivered on campus. Shopbox, a convenient service.
Star 712#.
Luck is everywhere. 8K. Hey, you get an 8K. Get a packing from your Wallah.
Hey, wait. You can put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Deal radio. We are star 712. It's much more phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at the ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved ones.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or prefer tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random tickets, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5.
Baby, give me your 5 numbers.
And how much are we buying?
Babe, look at the body and buy you.
With your body,
So
Never. Tread cautiously. Now follow the prompts and prepare. Now the luckiest.
The luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Hey, strong! Hey, tough! Syntex is coming and brand new. Syntex is coming. Today we are in Nima. Syntex, your trusted brand for everything water tank. Domestico, industrial user, and we are promising all our communities listening or watching us right now. And oh, high five! That's right. Still Ghana's first to introduce double layer tank. The whole. Free water for everyone. Thank you so much. So please make sure you nominate your community. We will be right there to serve you. Papa Syntex, what's the next week? Hey! Yeah!
Keep nominating your communities on our social media handles and trust us, we might be at your doorstep.
Syntex tank! Are you strong? Are you tough? Yeah!
Messi and me 200 Ghana Kuja so sister. Buy you 5 cedis and 40 Ghana. Hey, take one container your 40 to 50 pesos and not 20 Ghana. And a dancing or long can do 30 Ghana. Adai, on my bay money away.
Oh, so Casa, Michel Dean. Sha, Doctor me the 20 Ghana. Me pay me 15 Ghana cedi a day. Omo be na woman ya koya na ate yesa bai.
Hwe enye duane bonko an ekosoro. John Dramani Mahama time. Smith 1 bag. Ne ye 24 Ghana cedis. Me nkonto Smith 1 bag a yesi eye 108 cedis. Iron Ross ye beton say. It is to say who see dan a. Say and I will say. John Dramani Mahama ba magie ya. Yebewo
ya nya bibia fa ho akom beku yen yo
akom ne de enku yen yebefa ye ho adwen pa na MPP aban wadi ehwamo ankasa
media minim wo haw na media mehwe masetirem na mato ababa
ene sa na tie de a eye akufu ade ne nipa wo mia nyame ya dom ne se December 7 dura yebe tuo masese de YouTube
yebe tu ankasa
hwe wasetna moto abapa e de sakraya papa beba wa brabom to abama John Mahama ne NDC.
This is a house that I have built and I have not even moved into. The roofing that was installed less than a year ago has already faded.
I recommended DBS Industries to you, but you said that already asked your nephew to take care of it. DBS Industries has introduced a new roofing system known as ColorLink Plus.
So you mean all these beautifully roofed houses were done by DBS Industries? Let's go to DBS Industries. My brother, I understand DBS Industries has installed roofing system that does not fade after installation.
Sir, it's true. It's ColorLink Plus. It is a special roofing system that DBS has imported from Europe. When installed, it does not fade. And due to the faith we have in them, we give our clients a 20-year warranty.
20 years warranty? Look, my house was roofed by a certain company. The sheets have completely faded. If DBS has this unique roofing system, then please uninstall the old one. If it means spending twice on a durable material, it's worth it.
It also leaves your room very cool.
Right, so welcome back. So we'll have our final conversation and then we'll call it a day. Now it is back. Yes, it is after 4 years of break. The Joy Sports Invitational Tournament is making it much anticipated return, ready to ignite the passion of corporate sports enthusiasts across Ghana, from the dazzling display of corporate colors to the electrifying energy of non-stop cheering to the CEO's penalty shootout, men's football competition, women's penalty shootout, mixed 4x100 relay, basketball shooting, mixed volleyball, women's 50-meter dash, men's 100-meter race, mixed sack relay, line and spoon relay. We have so much more for you to enjoy on the 26th of October at the University of Ghana Stadium. So Daniel Cranton is here in the studio. So Danny, how how are you guys preparing for the D-Day?
No, it's fun. Look, it's 4 years. We've gone on a break, so the anticipation is high.
So why that long?
COVID and some other things, but we decided that this is a year. This is right. The time is right for us to bring it back.
Okay.
And look, those who have been with us over the years are excited. There are new companies who are willing and eager to jump on. And why not? Look, it's the biggest gathering of corporate Ghana for sports, for networking, for enjoyment. Look, everything you want on that Saturday will be there. It's not just about coming to participate in the sport. It goes a long way in keeping fit also. Corporate social responsibility, coming to meet people, networking. Look, it goes a long way. In fact, if you look at some of the stories that have come from the past, people have been met.
Of course, yeah.
People have met, they have been gone on to marry. So, look, whatever you are doing, if this is the first time you are hearing about it, then lucky you. All you have to do is to sign up, come join their companies, and the spots are filling up really quickly, obviously, because of the eagerness and the anticipation of the day. So sign up as quickly as possible and then get on board.
So this is at the University of Ghana?
Yeah.
On the 26th?
On the 26th, University of Ghana Stadium, 9 a.m. sharp.
And you have a limit because the way things are going, if you don't rush in, you are likely to get out.
Yeah. And look, we started advertising this has been like a week and a half, and already we have 14 companies already joining. Yeah, so the numbers are, in fact, that's before I came on air, a number of people have called in. So you have to be quick. You have to be quick. There's IS Evolution Consult who have joined, National Insurance Commission have joined, Axis Pension Trust, there's Safoda Ventures Limited. In fact, Safoda Ventures Limited, the last time we did it, they swept
everything,
just winning left, right, center, and they are back. There's PWAC, there's RMX, there's SoccerBet. SoccerBet every day they are giving people odds. This time they are coming to compete in the sports themselves. Nationwide Technologies Commission, there's ARB, Apex Bank PLC. The Luckiest is also part. MacDan, Piva Beverages, Yomi Yogurt, and then Caveman Watches also have joined. So these are the 14 companies already. Just about a week and a half of pushing this, and 14 companies have already joined. So the sports are filling up really, really quickly. And to be frank, there's a sport for everybody. It's not just your usual football, basketball. There's a sport for everybody.
Yeah, because I was coming to that. I mean, some of these CEOs, people advance in the age with pot bellies and you're going to subject them to football.
No, you see, look, if young and fit, and to be frank, there are some about 50 plus, very fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's football for the men, there's a CEO's penalty shootout, and then there's a ladies' penalty shootout also. There's a women's 50-meter dash.
Okay.
So that's just half of the 100.
This is a whole day event.
This is a whole day event. So, and multiple sports will be happening at different times. So there's something for everybody. There's 100 meters for the men. There's mixed relay. That's 2 guys, 2 girls, 1 team. Very interesting. There's a mixed basketball. There's a mixed volleyball. There's a tag of peace. I'm obviously not going to take part in the tag.
Yeah, of course. You'll run over you.
And that's fine. Yeah, I do my talking. There's sack race. There's lime and spoon relay. There's swimming. Tennis has been added. So, tennis in corporate Ghana is a big thing. So we've added tennis. There's a 5-kilometer race walk, speed walking. Yes, very interesting. Then there's the Masters 50-meter race. Now that is for people between 50 and 60 years.
Okay.
Yes.
50 meter.
50 and 60 years. 50-meter race for them. And then there's also table tennis. So to be frank, wherever you are, whatever age category you are in, there's something for you.
And of course, alongside, we've got refreshments. Because the whole day event, there's networking as well, apart from the sports.
There's a lot of food.
Yeah, so more like bring the whole family, let's all have fun the whole day.
The whole day. There's something for everybody. Obviously, though, the kids will have, when you bring the kids, they can play with each other. There are board games, there's Scrabble, there's Ludo. It's like a nice family day with sporting events happening all around. And those of you who've been bragging at home to your wives. When
I was a goalkeeper.
Thank you.
Come and show it.
Thank you.
Come and show it. But we've got people who are sponsoring this.
Yes, we've got people who are sponsoring. We've got 5 confirmed sponsors right now. The Luckiest have joined us.
When you say Luckiest, is MTN, right?
No, the
Luckiest is okay.
The Luckiest, the lottery.
Okay, yes.
Then there's MacDan, there's Piva Beverages, there's Yomi Yogurt, and then there's Caveman. So Piva and Yomi will be providing us with a lot of drink stuff.
Okay.
Caveman, look, brilliant. Everywhere you pass, there's something for you.
And you can't wait. The date is the 26th, but before you participate, you must register.
Yes.
And so there's a number they need to call.
Yes, you have to register. This is a number you call. It is 054 010 6466. That's 054 010 6466.
All right.
That's
so the date is the 20th. That's the number 054 010 6466. Call and register your company and come and participate, come and network, and let's all have fun. It's a whole day event, so you can bring your family as well. The 26th of October 2024. But Donna, before you go, just in some few seconds, is it official? Nigeria is not playing Libya?
Yeah, Nigeria is not playing Libya. They were subjected to not too humane treatment at the airport.
So they
12
pulled
hours.
out.
Yeah, they pulled out.
And they lose the
the
points, and then
no, CAF has not yet ruled on it. They've actually condemned what they were put through. The Libyan officials say it was by no fault of theirs. So CAF is obviously going to put together an investigation, and then when that is over,
we'll know what to do. Daniel Quantin is from Joy Sports. This is how we'll end the show for today. For more stories, log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. So many interesting, compelling stories out there for you. My name is Elton Bobby. Whatever you are up to in the hours ahead, I hope it's profitable. Let's talk showbiz is up next.
I see, Messia Lemon 200 Ghana could so sister. Buy you in 5 cities and 40 Ghana. Hey, take one container 40 to 50 pesos.